model of the King George comes in this very smart box with a cardboard sleeve around it. I quite like these boxes. We've got trying Hornby and model railways on the one end. Cardboard's a little bit faded, so it's done its job and protected the model. And there's the info on the other end. Catalogue number R.871, and then we've got trying Hornby. Sadly, no price there, but maybe there was a cellophane shrink wrapped around there, and the price may have gone on the cellophane perhaps. So I think this model's done a little bit of running in its time. There's a very interesting set of figures there. Look, $3.99. I paid a little bit more for it than that, so we'll ease that out of there and we'll pop that down. The sleeve on the not the sleeve, sorry, the tray on the inside of the box has suffered a little. We can see, the whole box seems to have been squeezed in a little like that. So I'm just going to lift out the instructions, have a quick look at those, get those the right way around. Now we've got a date on there. We've got R.871, and there's the date, 3rd of the 2nd, 1972. So we've seen plenty of instruction sheets on and off, so I think this is quite a general one as well, but there is some additional paperwork in there. Let's just pop that down for one side. That's for the name, optional names or alternative names. Just have a quick glance at that. There's a very heavy fold in this paperwork, so I'm not going to attempt to undo that now. So we'll also pop that to the one side there. We'll just have a quick glance at this. So they were very keen on giving alternative names at the time. So there we've got them for different models. We've got for the Princess, Britannia, and the Hall, all coming with alternative names to those that was supplied. And what we've got here, we've got the Coronation class in blue, and then we've got the Battle of Britain in SR green, and then we've got the Maroon Coronation class that we're looking at here, R.871, and there's the names: Queen Elizabeth, Duchess of Rutland, and City of Edinburgh, and the appropriate cabside numbers. So they're still in their cellophane. I'll just turn those around. You can see, are we upside down there? Yeah. So we'll go those the other way up and have a quick glance at it. It's always nice when these little bits and pieces are still with the model, but I think we'll just keep those safe in there. I'll pop those to one side. And if we lift up the box, you can see that sort of bowing in there, and I'm wondering whether that's when it's been shrink wrapped. Perhaps it's just pulled it in really tight. So we can see we've got a beautiful model in there. If you just look around the top of the cab there, we've got a little bit of a split in the vac form tray, and then down the sides it's split and damaged over the years, but hopefully it'll have a rather gentle life from now on. The body shell has that really high gloss varnish on it by the looks of it, although it looks a little bit sort of blotchy around the bottom there underneath the lower gold line. And just catch that. It seems a little bit matte or stippled in that surface there, and it does have the missing handrail detail there. Let me just move my hand. We can see the handrail on the other side there, so that's been lost at some stage. If we have a look down there, just like my blue version, it also lost the same handrail. We've got a little bit of cab detail going on in there. I don't want to handle this too much. Let's just have a look at the way those wire handrails are held on inside the body. It has an almost translucent effect if you have a look at the body shell there. So you've got those nice ties just coming through the bodywork and being just bent back to hold those great looking handrails into place. It really is a glossy finish there, isn't it? So it is quite a lovely thing. Let's just have a quick look over the top of it there. It really is quite something. This must have looked amazing in the shops back when these streamlined versions came along. Again, you can see almost sort of stippling effect in that varnish down there. Hopefully I'm holding focus as we come down there. Let's just have a quick glance at that front end there. It's just a terrific looking thing. Whether it's accurate or not, I think it's just such a lovely item. Let's just pop that down there. So to get the chassis on, we've got a securing screw at both ends. I think we do have, we've got Triangle Hornby's name tucked away down there, and then made in Great Britain. We can just see that there. Let's grab this, and there's a spacer. I'm just losing that out of shot there. So that spacer goes on here. If I pop that into place there, it's just dropped out of shot. So that's the front end spacer and goes onto the chassis here. We've got so that I'm not following that around quick enough. We've got the long securing screw for the front end that goes down through the spacer. Let's just grab that. Quite heavy looking screw heads on there, aren't they? So let's get that over there. Perhaps a little bit better focus on there. Look, so very heavy looking head on the screw, and then the rear securing screw. They're also a fairly heavyweight thing, very similar to the one in the bottom of the Flying Scotsman. Now this model does have the washer on the front securing screw, although the blue variant I have doesn't have the washer in place as I remember it. So we have a quick look a little bit later on. We'll have a glance over the tender whilst we're here. So again, if you look at the tender, I don't know whether you can see the fins here are almost translucent when you get the light behind them. Let's pick that up. And again, I don't want to handle that too much. I don't know whether you can see that sort of where the light's coming through the plastic there. And there is some sort of overprint on the gold there between the lines. I don't know whether you can see it running down between the lower two lines. It seems like some of the foil printing or whatever method they use has gone through onto the plastic. Again, a very, very shiny finish there. And I think the underframe is Hornby 00, or derived from Hornby 00, or Ren as it would be at that time perhaps. But they're a truly lovely thing, that ladder detail in the back there. It does have a sort of overall sort of plasticky feel about it. That's a metal part in the bottom there. Let me just pop that down there and have a look. Now this one does have flanges on the centre wheel on the tender there. I have it in mind that the blue version doesn't, but we'll perhaps check that a little bit later on. Let me see if I can roll that around, and we'll just have a look into that area there where you'd see the connection between the locomotive and the tender there. So presumably the coal would have been shoveled in and out, so not in but out of here and then into the firebox. So let's just pop that down before we have an accident. I will pick that up and move that out of the way, and we'll just have a quick glance at the chassis here. Let me see if I can lift it a little closer. So I think we have basically got the Flying Scotsman chassis here. So we have gained plated wheels, although no flanges on the centre ones. And we've got plated wheels on the front, no coupling. And there is the firebox glow box there. So let me lift that up there. We'll put that down. So we could have had firebox, not fireblocks, firebox glow there. But I don't think it was ever fitted into this model. So it just forms an extension to the chassis there. So that this whole bit screws onto this bit there. If you have a look at the insert picture there of the service sheet that covers this model and the Flying Scotsman's, the various the two early models of the Flying Scotsman, the ones up into the mid-70s, I think. And let's just turn this around and have a quick look on the other side. There is some slight marking on the valve gear. I don't think this has done a great deal of running. I've only run it a couple of times. It was quite heavily greased, that cog there. And it's in fairly tidy condition. And it does make such a lovely noise on the track. like my Maroon Coronation, this one comes in a very similar, if not identical style of box, I think, although there is some element of pricing there. Well, I'm not quite sure what that represents. I don't know whether we can get that in focus there. There seems to be something partially torn away and a very sticky looking label there. The edge has gone off the paper label there with the model number on it. And again, we've got a pricing spot there. And again, I imagine the internal box was shrink wrapped, but that's long gone. So again, these models have been around a bit. And this cardboard sleeve's got some various staining on it and stuff. So we'll just ease that out. I haven't got full paperwork with this model. It just got the alternative name, so we'll just pop the cardboard sleeve down to one side there. We'll have a quick look now. Somebody's pinched one of the alternative names in here. So we did see the sheet earlier for the Maroon Coronation. So somebody's had one of the nameplates away and one of the cab side numbers. You can see they've been snipped out carefully, so let's see which name is missing. So the Princess Britannia and the Hall Coronation in blue, there we go. So I think we've got Queen Mary present, so Princess Alexandra is missing from there as far as I can see. So maybe somebody's had these out of the box at some point and renamed a locomotive with them, but still it's quite nice to have the original thing. So we'll just pop those to one side, have a swift look over the model. So we won't dismantle the model or anything. We've seen the Maroon one all dismantled, so apart from the plated wheels, I think we're pretty much the same item here. So this one's done an awful lot more work on the track, I think, than the Maroon version. The inside of this box is in far better condition, though. It hasn't suffered like the Maroon one. So we'll just have a quick look over the model there. You can see some marking in the glossy finish on the model, and there's some tarnishing to these handrails. So we're on the other side of the railway now, and it's again a few days have elapsed since I shot the last part. The Coronations are still in the station. I've set the track up so we can run the Maroon Coronation all the way out and up and over, so we'll have a look at that at the moment. But I've been sort of preoccupied. I've got another locomotive arrived. I already had one. Sorry, I'm standing on the floorboards again. So we've got this LMS 2P here. Let's have a look at it. It's slightly damaged. Sorry, I'm reaching for something out of shot there. So it was bought as an eBay purchase, and it's been re-glued in the past, and re-glued several times by the looks of it, and it was partially come away when it came to me. And looking at the chassis, it looked like there was a lump in the metalwork on the back of the chassis, potentially causing it to keep re-breaking. So it's definitely not a perfect item. It's very, very dusty. I've partially cleaned it. Let's have a quick look over that and we'll hold that in the light. So it's not too bad. There's a little bit of wear and marking on it. All the steps are in place. You can see dust around the base of the chimney there. It's got a wire handrail on it, and on the inside looks reasonably tidy there. So that's had a light brushing up. We'll just have a glance at the tender. So I haven't done any cleaning on this. It's got paper labels as far as I can see, and you see they're not in the best condition. There's some marking occurred to those over the years. There we go, that side, but I think largely it's intact. You can see a great deal of dust and sort of hairs and cobwebs around that sort of greasy looking coupling, so that'll need a bit of a clean up. I think there's quite a bit of dust on the top side there. You can see. Let's grab that in the light a little bit more. And we've got the motor on the chassis and the motor on the rolling road. It pulls about 0.35 of an amp. I don't think that's too bad. It runs relatively smooth. I mean, out of the box it ran pretty good. I've given it a light clean. The motor was a little dry, but I don't think I'm going to remagnetise it at 0.35 of an amp. I think it's quite respectable. Screwdriver sticks to the magnet really strongly, so I don't think there's any real need to sort of start dismantling the motor and so on, so that's all fairly good. The wheels, quite a bit of wear on them, but I think it's been well used and well enjoyed. You can see there's some bits lining out, you see the amount of dust. So the whole thing is fairly dusty, needs just a general good clean. So yeah, I didn't really need another one, but a very weak excuse for purchasing that, and it was relatively cheap. I think including postage, well under £25. So between the £20 and £25 mark, I can't remember the exact figure. But last year, somebody kindly gave me this box, and it didn't have a locomotive in it. Sort of a challenge, really, isn't it? Having already got one in the Hornby Railway style box, a slightly earlier style box. It's always sort of been on the back of my mind that it would be nice to have the model to go into it, but I didn't really want to spend very much on it. And you can see there's an interesting price there. So yeah, it's got a polystyrene insert on the inside, a lovely face card there, no instructions, but I quite like these items from the mid-70s. I have a number of them now in these boxes. I think I've got a Lord Westwood. You've got the Class 37, saw that recently, got that from the Train Collector show. I've got the IVAT, we've seen that in the past. I do have a Class 47, which we've seen before, but has a similar type illustration and graphics, but has a silver face card. There's an industrial locomotive there. I'm not going to get these out, and I think we've got it's a slightly different red on the box. It's maybe a hybrid in the packaging, and it's got a window in there. We've got a diesel shunter. I think that's in blue. But yeah, sort of a semi sort of side part of the collection when you different sort of box variations, completely unnecessary, of course, but yeah, all good fun. But maybe next week we'll get that on the railway. We'll have a little bit of a run with that, perhaps. Seems we've got a couple of other LMS locomotives, but I'm thinking we'll just get that out for a run. While with this side, I've got the handheld controller lying over here. Now, I can't remember whether I mentioned that these coach wheels on these later coaches, these Maroon ones, are a little temperamental. I don't think they're as happy as they could be on my sort of quite crude System 6 track. We do get the occasional derailment. So I have measured the back-to-backs, and they were all very good, almost identical, apart from the one on the trailing bogie on the brake. So that one has been fiddled with to some degree. So there we go, 3.8R there. And this is where I'm expecting some issues, if there's going to be any, coming through the set of points here. Yeah, so we're all through there. And I did have it in mind that I might have to put in a set of silver seal wheels on these coaches. Sadly, I don't have a complete set to do a replacement, but I think it might be the way to go and get a little bit more confident running on this track with it. I'll just let that back off a little. Come down the side of the station. And there we go. And I'm going to have to stop just up at 0.8R because they're left in the wrong direction and I can't close them from this side, so we'll just bring those to a stop there. So I think with these wheels, the sort of confident high-speed running that I can get away with and enjoy with the blue Coronation, and it's quite crude plastic wheels. It's just not possible with these. I'll get the other side. We'll see what we can do. We'll give it a go. I'll just switch points 8R, and then we'll shut up the elevated section as well for now. And then let's grab the controls and let's see if we can give a little bit more power perhaps down one of the straight sections, and we'll see how we're doing. So here we go. Let's give that a bit of power. Also, these coaches are a great deal noisier on the rails than the other ones with the plastic wheels. So let's see how we do, but excuse any derailments. Actually, I have not done what I thought I was going to do there, so let's see if we can carefully put those back through the points. Yeah, I thought we had the outside line to ourselves there, but I'd left it through back onto the inside. My mistake. Let's close those and that. Let's see how we do with that. Sorry about that. That could have been really disastrous. I don't think she'd have come through that set of points at that speed. So as we were, let's perhaps go a little tighter so we can see a little bit more. So here we go. It's a little bit more power now. So I think that's respectively quick. So my arm's just gone very wobbly there. Sorry about if it's transferring into the camera. That was nowhere near full power, but I think I'm going to leave it at that. Having experimented when I was setting this up, I think that was quite well done. Let's just flip the camera around, see if we can get in a bit closer to those coaches. So I was really quite pleased to get these, and they are a silly price. I'm not sure I'll get any more of them though. I think perhaps the 3 of them's enough. It's just quite a nice train set length. And it looks quite nice on the railway, I think. I do have a couple more of the blue ones, I think, as an earlier video. Actually, I've just knocked the controls there. Let's just back that up again. Yeah, I think I have 5 of the blue coaches. I own 2 brakes, 3 coaches. I think in an earlier video we've seen those. So let's see if we can. Let me just check this temperamental lever here, because it begins to pop out sometimes. It's worth pushing it down from time to time. Let's swap that over. A lot of rambling going on here, but this is just playing with the trains. And let's get that through to the inside line, and then let's get the blue Coronation out on the outer line. Let's see what we can do with this. There we go. I'm just going to flip the camera around for a moment, and let's see if the gimbal will catch up. So we just need to flip that one and that one, and I want 4B 8R, and exit to the station. There we have it. I just need to swap to two parts. And now what we should have is the both trains isolated, and I should be able to get out, he says. So blue Coronation should come out, King George should stay still. Let's see if the theory's right. So we'll give that a go. Here we go. Two independent lines. So this just has the steel tyres, and it's plastic wheels on those coaches, so we have much quieter running. Whoops. Although I think this particular model might be better suited to the Super 4. The wheels on it are slightly coarser. You can see it does have a little bit of a jump on some of that point work. Let's close out the points now. There we go. Let me flip this around. And let's give this one a swift run round, perhaps. Completely different sound. We'll just bring that gently to a stop there. Actually, that's hidden behind the signal box, isn't it? There we go. Let's flip the camera around. Whoops. So these coaches, on the Maroon ones, I think what we've got here is R4142 for the brake and 4141 for the composite. And I've done a little research since the early part of the video, and or last week's video, and I think these are from around 2001 is the closest date I could find online. So I might be wrong, but let's just have a quick glance. I know we saw them in last week's video. I'm going to just grab the cradle so we can put one upside down and have a glance at it. Let's unhook that gently, so we'll just have a look over the brake. So the interior detail is quite dark in colour. I don't know whether that's actually maroon. So they're quite lovely things. Let's just pop that down, and I'll lift off a brake, one of the blue brakes, and we'll have a look at them together. Let's see those wheels. So a much later design of wheels, and I think I said last week when we had a quick glance at these that these bogies are really very loose fit to the coach body. But yeah, they spin quite freely, but they do make an absolute racket on the rails, even noisier than the sort of silver seal wheels. Let's pop that down the other side and have a look. Let's have a look down there, and the packaging. Let's have a look here. So I think I showed the packaging in last week's video. There they got a card there, so that's for the brake. They've got like a slide-in card underneath a plastic tray. I'll put an insert perhaps into last week's video. You can see them sitting in the tray with inside. It's like a plastic clamshell. I don't have enough hands to grab that out. And we've got the Coronation, the blue coaches. I seem to have two different styles of boxes for these. I think these are, what year are these? 83, 85. So that's a coach R422. That's a blue one. And there's a brake. That's a slightly different box again. So that's R423, blue silver livery. Yeah. So actually, this one has a lot of price tickets stuck on it there. What's that one for there? That's the coach. £5.45. They were a little bit more than £5.45. So let's see if we can grab a break off and have a quick glance at it. Perhaps I should move that further forward so we can get that more easily. And I think this model is just so much more run in. I think the Maroon one, if it had done a bit more running, the motor might quieten down a little. Although, having said that, it just does make quite a lovely noise in motion. Let's see if we can get this down here. Let's turn that way around. So the Maroon coaches have some detail picked out. There we go. See, the Maroon ones have these sort of handrails and levers on the doors, perhaps picked out in a silverish type paint. So I think they're probably the same mould. I'm not sure about the bogies though. I think the bogies may be different. I think there is a slight difference in the appearance of the bogies, but I think these are made in England. Yeah, that's upside down, made in Great Britain. Let's spin that around. And let's spin that one around. And there we go. I think that one's made in China. The plastics seem different in use there. Well, I suppose that's quite wobbly, but that just feels so much looser than that. But yeah, quite interesting things. But yeah, I'll leave a link to the earlier video with those and a slightly different variation of the blue Coronation. So the blue Coronation was R.864. Let me concentrate on putting that back on and I'll read my notes more correctly. So the blue Coronation from 1970 to 73, the one over here. So that's a R.864, and there was another variant of that in the 80s and possibly the 2000s. And the Maroon one here, I think there were later variants, but this variant R.871 was from about 71 to 74. So let's see if we can get this blue brake coach back on. Let's try and finish with a little running from both of them at the same time. Let's see if we can get that in the right place. There we have it. So it's just a little tidy up. And let's see if we can get the Maroon one underway. I'm just going to zoom out a little bit, so I think we might stand more of a chance of having both locomotives in the same shot if I zoom out. So let's give that a little power. Let's get her underway to start with. All looks quite good. Let's grab the controller and see if we can get the blue Coronation underway. There we go, both coming down the one side of the layout together. No competition there. Yeah, we better calm that down a bit. Obviously that's not fun at all. So I think that's probably it for this week. Thanks again for watching. It's hugely appreciated. If you look back again next time, perhaps we'll see if we can get that 2P underway and have a little bit of a play with that. I think we'll power that blue one up a little bit more. Thanks a lot. Goodbye now.